Louie, absolute pleasure, first and foremost.
Pleasure's mine.
Amen. Hope you guys enjoy this. This is going to be a quick little rundown on just Louie's life, his story, especially with Sales Audio. We're actually out here for the mastermind. We just had it yesterday. It was insane. And we thought, why not let's just go through some questions for the people that are obviously watching that might potentially be interested in Sales Audio, but just overall, just hearing an incredible story, right?
Let's do it.
First and foremost, let's, I guess, start it off, man. Like, your involvement with Sales Audio, like, what did it look like? Just kind of give, I get, like, an introduction to the viewer watching.
So a little introduction about myself is, and also a quick fun fact is I make music on the side. And how I've actually gotten into sales was 3 years ago. I moved out to LA. Well, I didn't move out to LA. I went to LA for like 3 months. And when I came back to Australia, completely drained me of my bank account because that was the first time I've traveled overseas for like an extended amount of time. Drained me of my account. And I got a job. I had two jobs at the same time. And I've always been entrepreneurial. And I always knew working a job was never really for me.
Yeah.
And so the typical salesperson, sales cycle, tried drop shipping, tried at my own agency. And I was just like, damn, this shit's not for me. And then I don't know how I came across it, but I heard like sales was, you could do the fulfillment of an agency.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you could do an agency without the fulfillment and you get a percentage of it. And I was just like, that's like the perfect thing. And then as I went deeper into sales, I understood that everything in life is sales. You're talking to a girl, you're selling yourself. On a job interview, you're selling yourself. In sales, like you're selling your product, you're selling something.
Yeah.
And so I realized that was a lot more transferable than maybe drop shipping or, of course, like starting an agency, you're going to learn transferable skills, but sales is like the backbone of life. And so that's how I got into sales. And that was around 3 years ago. And I think it was like a year and a half ago, I came across JJ's content back when it was world-class sales. And so I've been in the ecosystem for a while. And that's how I really got introduced to the whole Sales IO. And recently I joined Inner Circle and been a game changer, being able to like speak to Cole, Scott, JJ, have those one-on-ones directly with him. Really like the person who I am now compared to like the person who I was even 6 months to a year ago, completely different. So
Dude, that's awesome. World-class sales then initially, right?
exactly.
Were you actually in world-class sales, like when it started fully? Oh, not when it started, but...
Yeah, so actually Jalen closed me on world-class sales like maybe a year ago when it was like $97 a month or 197, like whatever it was. And funny story, that was back when I first moved to London. I had literally, I think, $250 to my name. I don't want to be one of those sob stories. Oh, I had $50 to my name, but that's literally what it was. I was working on a job. I had like multiple offers that I was on, and I knew like I couldn't keep going down that route. And I knew like I had to invest in some sort of sales mentorship because they did have the job placement. And I was expecting to go onto the call with Jalen and be like a 4K upsell. And so I was kind of prepared of like getting a credit card, asking a loan from my parents or whatnot. And he said, yeah, it's only like 197 or what it was at the time. I can't remember. And I was just like, and you get the job placement? And he goes, yeah. And I'm just like, okay, there's a no-brainer. And so I joined, and I can't remember if I think I might have found like an offer from there or whatnot. I can't remember. But then there was a period of time where I literally went broke. And so I couldn't afford it anymore. And so I was still part of like the free ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
But as time went on, I ended up landing a role and I just wanted more of like that one-on-one mentorship. And that's when I got into Inner Circle because I knew a bunch of people from Inner Circle and I was just like, okay, cool. Like this is it. This is the one I want to go down.
Yeah.
And literally jumped on the call. I already knew I was going to pay for it. And so easy.
Amen. What made you obviously want to get into Inner Circle? Because a lot of people are obviously in the free community. A lot of people are in even the lower tier. But like, what really took you over the line?
Yeah, so I'd been indoctrinated. I was like one of those long-term follow-up. Like,
Yeah.
I'd been nurtured for a while. So, and I always resonated with like who JJ was as a person and all the other coaches, Scott and Cole. And so also having friends who had been part of it and them saying, oh yeah, like the stuff that I've learned like really helped me, this, and this. I knew it was either that or like I didn't think of any other program that I would have wanted to join, especially where I was at the time. And so that's like literally the main reason why I decided to go with Sales IO Inner Circle compared to maybe some other of these other inner circles out there.
Dude, then shed light with it, right? With JJ, like, because I've heard a lot from a lot of different people, like, how much has JJ impacted you as a person, as a sales rep, just in general?
I'm a lot more articulate compared to what I was maybe 6 months ago or before joining Inner Circle. And also like the energy of like investing that type of money. Because at the end of the day, as JJ says, congruency is key. If you jump onto a sales call and you've never invested into yourself, or you've never gone through like challenges in life, how do you expect your prospects to do that? If you're selling a 15K product and you never invested 15K in your life, you don't know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And so how do you expect your prospects, like when they give you an objection, like you don't know how to deal with it? And so for me, having that energetic frequency of congruency as well, like really shifted it. And like obviously all like the one-on-one calls, the group call, like the 5 coaching calls or 6 coaching calls, the coffee chats and all that is just like literally took like not only my sales skills but like my personal life to that next level.
Yeah. And shed light with that, right? The coffee chats, all these different things. Like, what does a typical day in the life look like for you, especially being a sales.io student?
So a typical day for me is, seeing as I'm in the UK, I work Eastern hours. So usually my mornings from like 9 to 10, 10 o'clock in the morning to like 2 p.m. is really focused on like music and like myself. So going to the gym, doing what I kind of need to do outside of sales, like the 3 biggest lever movers, you could say.
Yeah.
And then from what, 2 p.m. to like 10 p.m. is like when I strictly focus on sales. And then of course you've got that like 1 or 2 hours of like doing the trainings a day
Yeah.
with all the calls. And then on the weekends, you've got the coffee chat on Saturday. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say stay up about because it's like 4 p.m. my time, but like watch that in the mornings, just like plan out my week or reflect and review, and then go to the coffee chat in the afternoons, and then implement that. Maybe go to the coffee shop, and the day after, and kind of just like reflect on what I learned the day before,
Yeah.
and plan out like the rest of my week. So
Awesome. What's coffee chat for people that
what
don't
coffee
know,
chat for
obviously?
people is like, as Cole says, you don't need more sales training. You need more internal work, more outside work. And so coffee chat is not necessarily going about like sales skills, objection handling, and all that. It's more of like who you are internally. So setting goals, being more congruent with who you are. Who you are off sales is who you are on sales. So it's like the 12 pillars of life, how to apply that. And as I said before, more of the internal work that you need to put into yourself
Mhm.
to get better results in sales.
And another thing too is like you're obviously talking about Cole, Scott, outside of JJ. Then as a coach, which coach would you say is probably your most favorite in terms of transformation?
I feel like it's one of those things. It's like when you have kids, you can't really pick who's your favorite because everyone has like different strengths and weaknesses. In a sense of like, I really resonate with how Scott portrays himself, and also coming from the UK, I really resonate with that and his sales style and very like upfront directness. But I also like the energy that Cole brings of like the very grounded, very neutral leader, more of a, you could say like consultant, that type of energy. And so, and then JJ is just an overall guy, like overall good guy. So it's like it's always good to learn from him. So I wouldn't say I have like a specific list of who's better than the other because at the end of the day, they all have their strengths and weaknesses that I just take little bits and pieces from everyone.
Yeah. And so with that being said, so like for the people that aren't even in sales.io, if you were to explain maybe just those learning styles just a bit more as to like, okay, Cole, Scott, the differences, stuff like that. For someone that doesn't even know who they are, like how would you explain it?
Yeah, so I would say Scott is very like, if you're in B2B, you're gonna love him because he's got a lot more experience in that B2B space. He's more direct. He's more, as most UK people, more tough skin, more tough love. Cole is more on the hitting those emotional triggers, getting really deep and hitting those emotional pain points. So if you're more on like the B2C side, he would really compliment you. And JJ, like, he's just energy, just the energy who he is as a person and being able to speak to anyone, no matter if they're B2B, B2C. So can all the coaches. All the coaches can do B2C or B2B. I'm not like, at the end of the day, it's all a human experience. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe
But it's
there's
a
one or the
great
other.
dynamic
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Like at the end of the day, it's not B2B or B2C, it's H to H, human to human.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I can say about that.
Yeah, he says all the time, sales is human.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like going back to what I said before, communication at the end of the day, like whether you're on a date with a girl or on a job interview or having a normal conversation like this, it's just like I'm speaking to another human rather than reading off a script or having something, a preconceived notion of who they are, understanding them as a human energetically, knowing that everyone's struggling, everyone is going through things, and being able to really connect with them on that sense.
Yeah, exactly. And for the people that didn't obviously check out the mastermind that we had, which was absolutely incredible, how would you what would you say that they missed out on, like in terms of the experience, in terms of the culture, just overall?
I'm a big believer in like energetics and like meeting face to face with people because obviously having a relationship online is just numbers at the end, like numbers on a screen at the end of the day, pixels on a screen,
Absolutely.
and being able to interact like physically with someone, it's a different energetic frequency, and meeting them in person and being like, damn, like these are the same people on and off, like it's just super cool. And then obviously going through the exercises that we did yesterday, like, and of course today with like the private one-on-ones, like really shifted my eyes. And the biggest takeaway for me out of it is just like being surrounded and being like, I think it's osmosis, where
Absolutely.
when you're surrounded by other people, you kind of bring in that frequency, that energy. And especially when people are doing better than you, it's just like you kind of realize like that they might not necessarily be, yes, they might be like skill wise better than me, but not as necessarily as intelligent as me or whatnot. And it's just like, if they can do it, why can't I? And
Yeah.
being surrounded by osmosis, like I'm going to grab little bits and pieces from everyone. And energetically, I'm just super excited to like get
Yeah.
back to London and just literally crush it.
Gets you charged up.
Yeah, it literally gets me charged up, motivated, inspired for the next 6 to 12 months until the next mastermind, which
Absolutely.
I'm super excited for.
Let's do it. And I guarantee you, right? It always happens. And every time I see masterminds, usually a large majority of those people, once they leave that mastermind, they make 10x more.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how the results actually happen. So, what was it? In terms of like what you do specifically in sales, like shed light on that. Obviously, you do sales, but what type of sales is it? Just for people that are obviously
Yeah, so
curious.
right now I'm on a B2B done for you marketing offer for real estate investors,
Awesome.
helping them get more, you could say lead generation marketing.
Nice. Closing, setting.
Yeah, so I'm closing. It's like a ranges between 9 and 24K, but like the average ticket price is around 15K.
Awesome. And in regards to performance wise, you don't have to say how much you technically made or not, but like, would that be something you're comfortable at sharing, at least shedding light
Yeah,
as to like
so
your performance?
if it's being documented, I want to come back a year and be like, oh damn, I remember doing this interview.
Absolutely.
So right now I'm averaging between like four, 4 and 6K a month.
Dude, awesome. How big of a difference is that, especially the fact that you're able to do this all online, not have to really do anything in person anymore? Like that shift of you obviously doing that and the mindsets and all that stuff, like shed light on that because I feel like that's a huge thing that a lot of people don't realize. Once they get into online space and they're actually making that money, how did that impact you when you started getting into those?
Oh, number one, it allows me to live in London, probably one of the most expensive cities in the world, where you step outside and you just pay $20 for
Yeah.
like a breath of air. So being able to do that, work from home, while my friends are like, I don't want to say slaving away because I respect everyone's hustle. You got to by any means necessary at the end of the day, but going to work, doing labor, even when I walk down the street, not that everyone, once again, not that anyone, no profession is better than the other, but like in the heat of like 30, 40, 50-degree days and people are like slaving away in the heat, it's just like, damn, I'm really sitting in my room taking sales calls, changing people's lives while I'm doing it and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And also it's allowed me to literally travel the world. Like I'm here in Orlando. I'm originally from Australia.
Yeah.
If you had told me 5 years ago, you'd be surrounded by multimillionaires, talking to people making like 6 figures a year and X, Y, and Z, like I probably wouldn't believe you. And the fact that I'm traveling all of this through sales and able to meet all these people, it's like it's a crazy feeling because I have friends from Australia and London who literally tell me on the daily that like I'm living their dream life. And so it's like,
It's like, why don't you take the jump, brother?
I literally try to tell them, but like they hit me with an objection, and I'm like, look, it looks like you're not ready yet. I'm not going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. When you're ready, come to me. I'll point you in the right direction, sales.io,
Yeah.
and then and then go from there.
Yeah, well, then for those people, especially that are watching, like, I guess they kind of got an understanding, but like, what would be your biggest advice for somebody that's a bit on the edge? They might be curious about even sales.io or but just investing in general. What would you tell them in that situation? Like, what would you, you know?
At the end of the day, like money comes and goes. I to be transparent, I do have like a scarcity mindset that I still need to get over. So that's something I'm like working through daily. But depending on how old you are, like that money is going to come back. If you're 16, then invest in yourself, because seeing these 18-year-olds here, people younger than me, investing and making all this money, it's like, damn. When I was 18, I was doing shit that I probably shouldn't say.
Amen,
Shouldn't
amen to
say.
that. I know I wasn't.
Exactly. And so it's just super motivating. But for those who are like on the fence, like take the leap.
Yeah,
Join the premium community first if you can't afford Inner Circle. See how that goes, because you're still going to get a ton of value from the
even that.
that, yeah, even the free community. And then I would like work your way up, and then join the premium community, get a job from the job post, make a bit of money, then go into Inner Circle, and then just slowly start reinvesting into yourself. Like through the money that I've made in sales, I've been able to invest into myself in other areas of life, like music or personal development. So it's like, it's an ongoing snowball effect that when you invest in yourself, not only energetically, but like you're going to get an ROI, unless it's a scam. But like
Yeah,
that is like, you've got to like really truly vet for. But if you find the right one, you're going to get a positive ROI. And you look at all the best people in the world, they're always investing in themselves.
yeah,
Like you look at like Cristiano Ronaldo, even the business people like a Patrick Bet-David or like a Alex Hormozy, they have mentors. So
yeah,
what's the saying? If you want to go far, or if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, have a
yeah,
team.
yeah. And dude, this is awesome, man. I would say the last thing, and it's something you literally just brought up, the fact that a lot of people get into sales for the fact of making money, but some people get into sales because it'll allow them to do what they actually love, which I can tell you love music. How has that just allowed you to do even more as a musician, as all that stuff, like with sales being that barrier, like that producer for you?
I love that question. Well, number one for me, networking is like the most important thing. Like your network is your net worth. And so being able to pay for traveling to Orlando, like after this, I'm going to be in Miami for a week. It's going to be Latin Billboard week, which is going to be massive.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to New York for a week. If I was to just do off that music, I probably wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so to be able to come here from music, and also to be able to invest in myself through like piano lessons and mentorship and this and this, like not only has sales improved my financial life, this and this and this, but it's also improved like my music, the quality of music, being able to like connect with all these people. Like I'm just so excited for like the next 6 months. I know I'm on the right path. It's just, as I was talking to Jalen, where I'm at, my future goal, it's already set in stone. I know where I'm going to be. It's just I'm waiting for time to
It's
catch up
already
to it.
done.
It's already done. It's already written in stone. I'm just waiting for time to catch up to it.
Awesome, man. Louie, it's an absolute pleasure, man.
Pleasure's mine.
I would say for the guys that are watching, this is exactly who we are. There's a community of people that obviously want to get to a different position, want to just better themselves, and ultimately just want to make a good amount of money. But first and foremost, if you have any questions, if you're interested, and even, I don't know if you want to drop your handle into there, but you obviously want to have a conversation, either book a call, text us on Instagram, wherever the case may be, text JJ. And yeah, have a good rest of your day. And hopefully this inspired you in some way.
Peace.
Let's go.